Yo guys, so welcome back to another video. Now this video is going to be a little bit different from the others. I'm actually going to do this video as a complete raw video. I'm not going to do any editing, I'm just going to do raw, chatting about how to scale up the reselling business. Also, by the way, how sick is this feeder jacket? I bought this like so many years ago. Me and my best mate went to TK Maxx like, oh god, it must have been like a good 10, maybe not even 10 years ago, but a fair while. And we both got one of these jackets each, and they're both like, they're so sick, so nice and warm in this wintry time. But yeah, so basically I'm going to be showing you some stuff, give you some little tips, what's been going on in the week, updates and that. And yeah, it's going to be all raw footage, so stay tuned guys. I'm going to try and get this video about 20 minutes. I'm not going to go over 20 minutes, so I don't want to keep you all for long. So, Succession this week. So, I can't remember my last video, or maybe it was the video before, but I actually had a 5-day restriction on Vinted. So, basically, when you first start Vinted as a normal person, obviously Vinted is meant for selling stuff around your house. Like, it's meant for people that are basically clearing out their wardrobes or their sheds or whatever and getting rid of tit around the house. It's a bit like how eBay used to work. Obviously, eBay's a little bit different now. Like, you could buy so much brand new stuff, but it's meant to be for selling old tit. Now, as resellers, we come on there and we buy cheap and we sell for more, which is fine. There's absolutely no harm in that. But Vinted like used stuff, okay? So stuff that people have worn themselves or bought themselves and no longer want, and then selling to get a bit of money back, but obviously not the full amount of money back. So selling new stuff, like brand new items, is kind of forbidden on Vinted. Like, you can do it. Obviously, if you're the average person, and let's say you got an unwanted Christmas present, like you got some new shoes, and you're like, oh, thanks, Nan, really nice, but you would never wear them. You could sell them as brand new, which would be fine. But if you're a reseller and you've got loads and loads and loads and loads of items, some used, and then you add a lot of brand new stuff, Vinted could flag you up. Now, I had a lot of brand new stuff. So as you know from previous videos, I went on the Boxing Day sale, which, by the way, other than one pair of shoes, which are these Air Max DNs, which did sell on eBay, but they got sent back to me because it went through like an authenticator. They authenticated that they were real, obviously. I bought them from the JD. But because the box is slightly like nibbled, I don't know if you can see it on the camera there, slightly ruined, because I didn't put in the description box has defects, because I didn't know at the time. I never heard about this. It's all new to me on the eBay authenticator thing. That they came back to me. So anyone that commented on that Boxing Day sale, like, oh, you never show profits, blah, blah, blah. Boxing Day was literally a month ago. Well, a month and a few days ago. So all of the stuff from that Boxing Day sale sold. I haven't done the totals, but I'm pretty sure I doubled my money on pretty much everything other than those. So yeah, it took a month, but they all went, okay? So there's just proof that sometimes you can hold on to items for a few weeks or a few months, and they will definitely sell. But sometimes you can sell stuff in 24 hours, sometimes you can sell stuff within an hour. Oh, by the way, actually, I'm going to show you something that actually sold really quickly. Or sometimes it could take a month, but they all will 100% sell no matter what. So, I can't remember what I was talking about before I mentioned the eBay authenticator. Oh yeah, about Vinted. Anyway, so I had a lot of brand new stuff on my Vinted account, and there was one day that I bumped a lot of stuff. So now on Vinted, because so many people are selling on Vinted, bumping is like really OP. You don't have to bump. You 100% sell stuff that if you don't bump. But Vinted works a bit like an algorithm, a bit like TikTok, right? So if you post a pair of shoes on a Sunday evening, within the first couple of hours, you might get loads and loads of views and favourites. But if they don't sell, you'll still get the favourites on the Monday and maybe the Tuesday. But after it's been like a week or two, they go down the algorithm, that makes sense? So they get to like the bottom of the pile, and people, unless people are searching that specific shoe, it's not going to pop them on their homepage. Like, anyone that's searched any Nike trainer before, if you listed, for instance, these Air Force Ones, and you know, it would go to the top of the algorithm when you first post it, but after a few days, it would then only come up on people's algorithms that searched Air Force Ones in previous times. So you do eventually, stuff that don't sell, have to bump. Now, this is the thing with reselling. Some people don't understand. You're never going to sell all of your stock. You are going to be left with a lot of dead stock. I've shown you before, I have a lot of shoes here that are quite dead stock. For instance, these Nike Huaraches, right, I think these were one of the first shoes I ever bought about 5 months ago. They are still on my Vinted for literally a £5, and they just won't sell. No one wants them. They just won't sell. They're a UK 5, and I've had them up for £5 for so long now. And yeah, they just won't sell. So it's literally dead stock. My partner's a size 5, but she doesn't really want them. So they will probably end up... I might potentially put them on eBay for like a 99p auction for a few days and just see if they go for 99p, then so be it. But yeah, you'll never sell 100% of your stock. But as you get further and further into reselling, you'll learn exactly what sells, what doesn't. Like, For me, the best sellers are anything Air Max. I told you about that before. Huaraches are slept on, they're really good. And then that leads me on to Napajiri jackets. Now, if you don't know what a Napajiri jacket is, it's basically one of these, right? So it's like a jacket, over the head jacket. Comes with a pocket on the front and then like a hood, and it's waterproof, and then you get the fleece inside. Now, they're really nice jackets. I generally don't have one for myself, but I'm tempted to keep one that I've bought, to be honest. Especially this red one, it's actually my size. But these are £200 retail, right? Now, so many people throughout the day are listing these for about 20 to 25 quid, right? Literally non-stop. Like, I've got 4 pairs up here. 4 pairs? 4 jackets up there and 2 in the house. So I've got 6 of them in and a couple more on the way, right? Now, I'm going to show you. And I don't know if you'll be able to see the times, but at the top of the screen there, you'll be able to see, it says today, which is today, at 10 to 2. So 10 to 2 p.m. I listed for £50, and as you can see, sold £50. And there's the email, if you can see that, 4:30. So I had them listed for, what, 2.5 hours? Did I say 2 o'clock? 2.5 hours, and they sold. And I bought that jacket for, bear with me, let me just find it. I wouldn't have bought it for any more than £24 total. Completed. Let's go. I picked this jacket up yesterday, by the way. £21.57, if anyone wondered. As you can see there, £21. Oh, is it going to focus? £21.57, if you can see that. So I sold for 50. So I literally made just under £30 profit in 2.5 hours. So Napajiri jackets are doing really well. Again, the thing is, a lot of people, so a lot of people do Napajiri jackets. Like a lot of people in our server. Big up Resell Locker, by the way. If you don't know about Resell Locker, you must have heard me speak about it. Go and check out my other videos. I've done videos on this before. It's a monitor that pings through all of the stuff that gets listed on Vinted, and we get access to every single thing that gets listed on eBay the second it gets listed, about 15 to 20 seconds before the app see it, right? So if you're on the app and you search Nike Air Force Ones and sit and refresh, and one pings in, we're going to see that on our monitor here. It's going to come through, Air Force One's £10. If you sit and refresh on here, you're never ever going to see it if someone's bought it on the monitor, because it's already gone before the app gets it. So get yourself in the monitor, guys, because seriously, that's where we get all of our stock from. I have my monitor set up for Napajiri jackets, so any that come through for £20 or less, we get a notification, I'll then go, boom, notification, buy now, bosh, I bought it before the app has seen it. So it's literally been uploaded, I've got the notification, I bought it before the app has seen it. So get yourself in it, that's where we get all our stock from. But anyway, a lot of people, I had a question on my TikTok video the other day saying, oh, the thing is, if you're in the Vinted monitor, surely your competitors are all the people in the Vinted monitor. But what you need to remember is we have, in the Vinted monitor, we are the first to have access to anything that gets uploaded on Vinted, which is fine. You know, there might be 300, I think there's about 400 people in our server. I know there's other servers around, but ours is the quickest in Europe. Fact. But what happens is, it will ping through, but if like 300 people, unless 300 people are all looking at Napajiri like at that exact time of the day, you're going to be able to get some. Trust me, I've picked up 6 in the past week. I've got 4 up there, 2 in the house, like I said. And I haven't bought every single one I've seen. Some of them I've gone and clicked buy now and they've gone. So, you know, there are going to be people that buy them quicker than you. But because so many are getting listed every single day, you're never going to be without. Like, honestly, if you sit on that monitor for 3 hours in a day, I can promise you now, you're picking up a good few hundred, maybe even £1,000 profit. If you had £1,000 to spend and you sat there for 3 hours, you would 100% find stuff, right? Now, you can sit on the monitor if you have time on your computer and wait for things to pop up, or you can do what I do and set things up and get notifications. The only thing is, my phone's constantly popping through notifications. As you can see here, look, like just, I don't know if that'll focus, but just loads of Discord notifications. So, you know, as you can see, like they do constantly come through, but I know as soon as one pings through, like one here, like I've got one for tracksuit bottoms, right? So men's Adidas tracksuit bottoms for £4.50. Now, I haven't dabbled too much in reselling tracksuit bottoms, but I know, like, oh, if I knew I could sell it at 15, it's £4.50, I'll click boom, buy now, bought it for £4.50, probably about £7 with the delivery costs. And then I can set 15, so boom, I just made £7. So the beauty of it is you can set up notifications. I need this heater to warm me up, it's absolutely freezing. And yeah, basically, I've got what I was saying now. I want to keep this raw, don't edit it. Yeah, you can basically make profit from notifications. So I haven't got to sit in the monitor all day long. So if I'm at work or out and about and I get a notification, oh, quickly, buy now, bosh. You know, I'm not taking up time, because sitting on the monitor all day long, like if you have the time, it's fine. But if you're out and about, having a busy life, you know, you're out with your family, I don't know, you're just out for like a meal, and you've got your phone there, and it just pings up, you quickly buy stuff. You know what I mean? You've always got access to buying stock, so you're never without stock. Now, this leads me on to bringing up the whole point of this video and how to scale up your business. So I've spoken about it before. Scaling up your business is all about starting small, selling stuff, and as soon as you sold something, putting that money straight back in. It's like a game, right? It's like Age of Empires. It's like Minecraft. The more you put into it, the more you're going to get out, right? So you start off with, you've got your own pair of shoes and you sell them for 20 quid. That 20 quid, but you buy 2 pairs of shoes for a tenner each, if it's including shipping fee, so £7 listed, £10 each. That £20 now converted to two £10 shoes that are worth £30 each, so you've gone from 20 to 60. And then what you do is you just keep scaling up. Like, obviously, you're probably going to get to the point where you want to withdraw profits. Like, I've got bills to pay, and like I said before in previous videos, like, my money just from my job doesn't cover all the bills. Because I have a business as well, I'm able to go over that. So, like, if I was relying solely on my money from my actual full-time job, I'd be pretty poor. So I do withdraw a lot of earnings each month, but it's not to the point where I've completely taken out my stock. So what you can, basically, we're scaling up. You start off with a couple of pairs of shoes a day. So when I first started, I was doing like 2 or 3 pairs a day. And then I got to the point where I was doing 10 a day. Now, through November and December, I was doing 10 a day. But I had time off work because I was on paternity leave for my baby. So I had a lot of time to do it. And that's the month I made the most money. I think I made £10,000 revenue. Well, I did a video on it when I made £10,000 revenue. That was from like half of September, October, and I think like mid-November. So I think literally within about 2 months, I scaled up to 10 grand revenue. Now, people don't understand the difference between revenue and profits, okay? Because I've done £10,000 does not mean I have £10,000 sat in my bank account to spend. I've done £10,000 revenue, which means all the money that come in is worth £10,000. Most of it has gone back out to buy stock. That's the whole point of scaling up. Like, I see a lot of videos on TikTok Shop, like on Whatnot videos, like, oh, I've made £1 million this year, like on Whatnot. Like, you haven't made £1 million, mate. You've sold enough items that made £1 million. You could spend £1,000 on stock for a Whatnot stream, sell enough that you've made 1,100, so you've made £100 profit, but because you've already had that 1,000 and you put 1,100 back in, you've done 2,100, but only actually made £1,000 profit, if you get what I'm saying. So at the minute, my total revenue, I'm going to show you this now. I'm going to try and show you without showing any like personal details. So as you can see, my sales, I've done 15,000. Yeah, 15,000. That's since like mid to end September. So October, November, December, January. So in 4 months, well, 4.5 months, I've done £15,000 revenue, which equals around about just under 4 grand a month, right? Revenue, okay? So profits before tax is £4,116, okay? So before tax. So if you take away corporation tax, because if you're a business, you have to pay corporation tax, which is about 19%. So you're looking at about 1,000 of that gone corporation tax, and then the rest of it I take out in dividends, which is about 3,000, and 8% on that. So yeah, so the whole thing is revenue. Now, because I saw a video on my page, it was like, oh, so misleading. You're saying you made £10,000 in 2 months. Yeah, revenue. I made £10,000 revenue, not profits. But what you need to do to scale up is all the money you profit, so your revenue plus the profits, or all of it in total, put back into the business. That's what I kept doing. So that profit there, that £4,000 profit before tax, is stuff that I've withdrawn for myself. So in what, 4 months I've withdrawn, well, £4,000, but minus tax, about £3,000 for myself. So about £750 a month extra. But I could have withdrawn a lot more than that, but then I wouldn't make as much, if you get what I'm saying. So I'm working towards about £1,000 a month profit for myself. Now, the difference is if I didn't withdraw any of that for myself, and I had that £15,000 revenue, that would have all gone back into the business to make even more. So then because what you can do is you can either withdraw it when you need it monthly, or you can scale up till you've got like, I don't know, £20,000 in profit in your account and be like, right, I'm just going to withdraw 20 grand. Like, I know some people, what they like to do, which I don't even know how it makes sense. I wouldn't be able to do this, but they scale up like a whole year, and on like the 1st of January, they withdraw like, I don't know, £40,000 from their business, and they're like, okay, that's my salary. So rather than pay themselves monthly, they just pay £40,000 at the start of January, obviously take away the taxes and all that. Then you're left with like that money for the rest of the month, so all your bills constantly come out. But then if that was me, I'd feel like I'll just spend a load, and then by like March, I'd be poor. So I like to pay myself monthly. Obviously, it's not like heaps of money, do you know what I mean? Because a lot of it I put back into stock. If I started and withdrew as much as I wanted, I'd probably be making more than that a month, but then I wouldn't have that a month because I wouldn't be able to make it with you get what I'm saying? So like, yeah, scale up your business and don't start withdrawing the money unless you really need it. Like, I don't really need the £750 a month, but you know, I like to shop in M&S and Waitrose. I like to eat good food. I go to the gym, so I like to, you know, eat decent amounts of food. Like, if I didn't go to the gym and didn't care about what I ate and dieting and stuff, I'd literally probably live on like 50p noodles just to have even more money. But I like to eat good, so I like to spend money on good food, basically. That's pretty much what I spend money on, to be fair. And like new trainers, to be like, a lot of trainers that I've bought from like sales, I've kept for myself. Like, I've got like 3 pairs of P6000s, 95s, just the Air Max Plus TNs, like loads of different shoes, some Dunks I kept for myself, because I liked them, so I could have sold them for more. But yeah, it's all about scaling up. Like, people need to understand revenue is different to profits. The more revenue you have, the more you're going to make profit-wise, and more you're going to be able to withdraw. A lot of resellers, right? Basically, they say that when you're a reseller, you're basically poor. Like, you're basically broke when you're a reseller because most of your money remains in the business. I wouldn't like to withdraw any of it. I would have liked to have kept it in the business, because the more you have in the business, the more I spend. So if, you know, I could spend £1,000 in January, turn that into 2,000 in February, spend 2,000 in February, turn that into 4,000 in March, 4,000 in March, turn that into 8,000 in April, double my money each month. By the end of the year, like 12 months of doubling, whatever that works out, 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, 8 to 16, you could have like 200, whatever it works out, by the end of the year, you could have like 200k revenue if you put all of your money back into the business. But again, it's all down to personal issues. Like, one of the things that messed me up was on Black Friday, Adidas released this crazy deal, and I went pretty ham and spent like £1,000 in there. And then I tried to whatnot it all, because the thing is, of whatnot, you have to be consistent, and the first few whatnot streams you have to basically accept that you are going to lose money. The first few whatnot streams you're just going to be down because you're building. So like, you don't want to be bound down too much, but you need to have that money from reselling on Vinted, all like the pre-love stuff, to cover the losses on whatnot till you start making profit on whatnot. Now, the last whatnot stream I managed to profit, but I struggled to get the stock in, because at the minute I'm really heavily on used items. Now, I don't know if I said it in the last video, but I've stopped buying a lot of used items. All of this stuff here I've already had. Like, I've been buying a lot of Napajiri jackets, to be fair, because they just get out so quickly. Like, I'll get one in, like I said before, I showed you earlier, I send it within 2.5 hours, I can sell some of them sometimes. I'll chuck them out, get new ones in, and keep reselling those, because I know they go quick. But a lot of trainers are trying to get rid of all of these trainers. Like, so the side here, you can see here, these trainers, they're all listed. All of them ones either need to be re-cleaned, because I got a little bit lazy with cleaning. I'd mentioned it in my previous video. I stopped cleaning for a little while. Clean them again and relist them again. So I'm slowly relisting them on. And to be fair, a lot of them are sold today. I think I've actually sold about 10 items that I need to ship ready for tomorrow. I don't ship items on a Sunday because my post office is closed, and Sundays I like to just, you know, Sunday's Sunday, man. But as you can see here, like, this is the weekend sales, if this focuses. I've sold like all the way down to there. So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 items. Just this, well, Saturday, Sunday. So 9 of those are shoes, because I sold 1 Napajiri jacket. So most of those, well, not most of that, hopefully that one whole and a row and a half will be gone out, and then I can get loads more listed and put back up. And then once they've all sold, I'll have about 1,000 to 2,000, and then I'm gonna do what I said. I'm gonna start scaling up, because, like I said, December was a little bit of a bad month for me. So was early January, up until like pretty much this weekend. It's been quite rough. So a lot of my prices have dropped. So because I've had to take money out because I wasn't making any, because it's been slow because of Christmas and that. I've had to withdraw a lot for myself. I haven't got as much in the business. But my plan is to, yeah, scale up and get myself. My goal is to get 100k revenue by the end of the year. Now, it's easily doable if I double money each month. So January, I'll be sitting on about 1,000 by the end of January. I'll then probably scale up hopefully to 2 in February, 4 in March, 8 in April, 16 in May, 32 June. Hopefully I could double my money. I mean, I don't know. That's quite far-fetched. I can't imagine I'm going to spend £16,000 worth of money and do that all on Vinted. But I want to get into whatnot a lot more. Now, if any of you live in Essex, like I do, there's a place in Clacton, if you haven't heard of it. It's about 45 minutes away from me. There's a JD clearance store. I don't know why I'm telling you this. I shouldn't really tell you this. It might be a secret. But anyway, there was a JD clearance store that I went to yesterday. And it's all brand new stock. A bit like Nike Outlet. But all of it is up to 75% off retail price. So there was, and then whatever the price on the box is in the store said, you get 25% off that price. So there was like, I think I took some photos. There was some, I didn't buy any because I don't want to do it yet. I kind of want to wait till I can go in there with like I basically want to go in there with like 1k, splash 1k in one mad shop, then come home and do it all on whatnot. Because then I would have known I've spent 1k, come back and hopefully make profit on it, and then I can start rolling on whatnot. Then I know that if I can go there, because it's 45 minutes away, and it's better, the amount of shoes in there, there were so many like good shoes. That's the thing with whatnot, you have to have the good shoes. Like if you go into the Nike outlets, it's like football boots or Field Generals or LD 1000s that no one really wants to buy. But if you can get like this shop had loads of Air Max 95s, it had loads of Amero Pluses, had loads of P6000s, TNs, loads of like New Balance and stuff like that. I'll show you a couple of examples. So like these Air Max 95s in size 7, is it going to focus? These were 60 quid, but with 25% off, they were 45. Now, Air Max 95s in a size 7 and above are like £185 retail, right? So if I'm picking them up for 45, I'm just thinking in my head, surely they're going to make money on whatnot. Like, surely you're getting a good 70 quid on whatnot, because people then will think ahead, oh, I'll be able to resell that on eBay, because they resell on eBay for like 120. And then again, as you can see here, these ones are a size 6, but they were listed for £60. And again, 25% off. You're looking at £45 for Air Max 95s. Like, you know what I mean? Look how many there were. Like, you could go in there, you know, if they're all £45 each, you could go in there and buy 10 pairs for 450 quid. And I'm sure 10 pairs on whatnot, they were decent sizes as well. They were like 9s, 10s, some 11s. Now, people on whatnot are always asking for 10s and 11s. So my plan is to get rid of all of this stuff and carry on doing the Napajiri jackets, scale up to 1k, go to that JD store, spend 1k on a load of New Balance, MX95s, P6000s, all the good shoes that I know are in there. They also had like Nike Milers as well for 20 quid plus 25% off, which is 15 quid. Now, I don't know how well they sell on whatnot, but I do know on whatnot, the good stuff, if you have loads of good stuff, people stick around and want to buy them, because whatnot's a lot of resellers, right? If you're picking up if you can get a pair of MX95s for 70 quid, on whatnot, but I've bought them for 45, I'm making money, they're buying them for 75, they're probably reselling for 100, they're making 25, you know, everyone's winning. So yeah, my plan is definitely this year is to do whatnot, and then like I said about scaling up, whatnot is where it's at, because, you know, Vinted, you can list as many shoes as you want, but if you're listing 100 pair of you, like, the thing is with Vinted, right, you got to get the shoe, for instance these, open them, you got to go and pick them up and stuff, from the lockers and that, you got to open them, you got to scrub them, clean them, dry them, take the photos, then list them, then sell them, and then pack them away, and then package them and get them to the lockers, which is fun. I will forever Vinted resell for the rest of my life. But to scale up to like huge numbers, like I'm talking like I would love to do £1 million revenue like some of these big whatnot streams. I've got to, one, make the space in here because I need to get a proper stream set up. So I've got to clear this huge pile here and get a desk in, get rid of my toolbox, that mini fridge as well, and build another shelf like above the washing machine there and up, so I can have all of that as like shelves of shoes. Maybe a couple here as well, like in a little walkway. Have loads of shoes, so I can get like a good 100 pairs a week or something like that. Get them all on whatnot. You know, if I'm selling the average, like, you know, let's say on whatnot I'm selling the average shoe for 50 quid, yeah, and I do 100 every week. You know, I could sell £5,000 worth of shoes a week. You know, if I get the average 50 quid, I've got 100 pairs every week. So if I can go to the JD store 3 times a week and pick up 30 pairs each time I go or something like that, and then do 3 lots of whatnot streams of 30 pairs, or even like 1 massive whatnot stream a week, even if I do 2 of like over 100 pairs, I could scale up to like 10 grand a week revenue. Like, imagine the scenes, man. And people actually are doing that on whatnot. Like, one of the guys I watched on there did like 1.6 mil last year revenue. Like, that's not profit, by the way, it's revenue. But if you can scale up, like to 1.6 revenue, and then you stop buying and get rid of everything, you might be able to just literally have £1 million in your account, because you've scaled up to that point where you have £1 million worth, sell it all, stop buying, boom, you might have £1 million. Like, that's generally how it could work, depending on your profit margin. So that is the ultimate goal in this, is to fully go whatnot via this JD store, and obviously the Nike outlets, because I do go to one Nike outlet every Thursday, because I have to go and pick my son up. So if I can go to the JD clearance store and get all the good stuff, and then get some decent cheap stuff in the Nike outlets every week, and then whatnot, and then obviously carry on with Vinted resell, and I'll forever Vinted resell. But like, to scale up to massive numbers, Vinted reselling, there's only so much you can do, because there's only so much time. Like, you know, if you want to list 50 pairs a day, think about how long it's going to take you to photograph 50 pairs. Like, when I was doing 10 a day, it got quite abrupt. But on whatnot, you could go on and sell 100 shoes in 2 hours, one stream. The next day, wrap them all up, which could take a day or two to wrap 100 up. A couple of trips to the post office, and boom, you can revenue like 10k or 5k, like I said, in a short space of time, and, you know, save the time doing it, you know. So yeah, that is how you scale up your business, guys. This video's been running for 24 minutes, and I get it's raw, and I know some of you might have been bored, but if you did get to this part in the video, comment the word bananas. comment bananas down below so I know you actually got this far and I know you've all watched it, which is happy days. But yeah, get yourself in the resale locker, guys. All this information as well. Like the thing is as well with Whatnot is it's not just the JD store I need to go to. Like the admins in there, we're constantly finding websites like House of Fraser, Shoe, even the Nike online store sometimes, ASOS. They're always dropping prices on a lot of shoes too. So what I want to do is scale up to the point where I can go to this JD clearance store, buy loads online, and really get into Whatnot and scale up massively. But yeah, I will continue to do Vinted reselling. But yeah, that's exactly how you scale up your business, guys. Start small, just keep putting your money back into it. Unless you need it for bills, which is what I might start doing, is just withdrawing it bare minimum just to cover all of my bills and then keep as much money in the business as possible. Because the more money in the business, the more you're going to make, the more your future, might be settled. Like if you can scale up to the point and you can get your business to £1 million, you might even be able to sell your business for £1 million. I don't know how all that works, but I've always said if I ever got to the point where I had £1 million, I wouldn't have to work ever again. I'd fully pay off my house and just live off like bills. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Please give it a thumbs up if you had. Like I said, comment the word bananas. Comment the word resell as well if you want to learn how to. I'll send you a DM. But please make sure you put resell with your Instagram handle so I can message you on Instagram because I can't message you on YouTube. And yeah, I'll see you in the next video, guys. Happy reselling. Peace.